Way You Look by Maleeha Siddiqui. I hope I said that right. Um, it's the author of Baraka Beats. It's a middle grade book for ages 8 and up, and published by Scholastic. And I thought this was such a good story. It's basically, um, let's see, it is a girl, Aini. So anyway, she's, it's summer vacation and she's going to work at her mom's clothing store. Her, her grandparents, who are sort of like the anchor of her family, are not living with her family because her grandmother is sick with cancer and has to go back to the old country, Pakistan, for treatment. And so that puts a lot of pressure on her family because they provided a lot of financial support. So it's sort of like the story just starts where they're coping with this, no problem. The community they live in, everyone kind of stepped in. And so she's living with her family in the basement of a friend's house for free. And her mother has this small kind of dressmaking business, like a tailor business, like where she, no, like more like a design, like she's like a designer. So she's like designing and making like bespoke custom clothes. But it's sort of like a new business, so it's still a little bit struggling. And Aini is a fashionista and she wants to be a fashion designer. And so she really wants to work at her mother's store, where her older sister was helping out. But so this is the first chance she gets, and she kind of wants to show what she can do with her with her design skills, but she isn't completely realizing the situation the family's in. And but also part of the story is that Aini's trying to figure out if she wants to wear hijab. Like she's sort of at that age where it's sort of like she still has time, but it's sort of the age where some girls her age are wearing hijab, her older sister is, and she's trying to figure out if she's ready for that. But in the meantime, she has a crush on a boy who has like a friend group, and then one of those boys is giving her attention in an uncomfortable way. So there's a lot going on. But what I really learned from the story was I didn't really understand the decision making process of wearing hijab. And I thought that was so interesting to learn about, what it means and how women of the Muslim faith make the decision, and how it is, it can be an easy decision or it can be a difficult one. And also once you are wearing it, the sort of the pressures that you face, both from racism and within your own community. So she like the author brings so many points of view that I think are so illuminating. That first of all, the story just reads like a great middle grade, from the point of view of a young girl, kind of coming of age story. So it's like a riveting story in of itself. But then sort of these other pieces of it, I just find it makes the story so interesting. And so anyway, at the end of the day, there is sort of the plot all comes together. So with the family that they're living in the basement house, the mother's business, Aini's design skills, and the boy who has been sort of like sort of like it's like sexually harassing her. And so it's she really ties it up nicely, and it's a very satisfying ending. And anyway, great story, highly recommend, and hope you enjoy it. Thank you to Scholastic for sending me this book.